What up? It's your boy Nick Incredible, man. I'm back at it again, and I just seen Fire Force episode 2, and I gotta say it was fantastic, man. I absolutely loved it again. I know it was just, I know I said that last time, but I did, man. It was just so good. It was glorious. In the beginning of the episode, man, we get introduced to Arthur, aka the Night King. Well, self-proclaimed Night King, and dude's a pretty cool character. I mean, you know, he's a little stuck on himself, just a little bit, but overall he's a nice character. And the beginning of the episode was more so of having the company kind of just get to know each other a little bit, and then they jump right into telling us that there's going to be a fighting competition between the rookies of each Fire Force company, and they're going to be like a huge tournament. Dude, I love fights and stuff like this in a mini tournament that's going to take place. I love stuff like that in an anime, so this is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait now that we have Arthur and Shinra, and I love both characters, and I cannot wait to see them in a tournament / fight. Oh, it's going to be good. But everyone was getting introduced, and Shinra and Arthur, we now know that they know each other. They were in the academy together, and they have this whole rivalry, brotherhood, companionship type thing. Like it's a little, I don't know how to describe it, but they kind of have like a love-hate challenge type relationship. Like they like each other, then like at moments they kind of just like their rivalry, and then they kind of like it's weird, but I love their relationship, man, and I love their relationship, and I hope that we get a lot more focus on that as we go along in the anime. I'm hoping, because I love their relationship right off the bat, man. But then we get to the lieutenant. Dude, he's so serious and so stern that like when he comes on screen, you know it's gonna be something. And Maki, every time she's on screen with him, it's like, oh, yep, I better listen. The lieutenant is something serious, man. And he told Maki to fight Arthur and Shinra to see what they have to prepare them for the rookie tournament. And let's be real, they thought they're both third generation pyrotechnics, telekinetics. I think that's it. And Maki is a second generation, which means that she can only control fire from a source. But those two, they can create fire at will. Okay, which is so cool. Creating fire. Oh, there's so much in this story that is so good. But they started fighting Maki, and she just like instantly shut down Shinra when he went to attack her, and he almost fell to his death if she wouldn't have cut her powers off. But Arthur has a cool power. He's a pyro telekinetic too, but he generates his flames through a sword, and he generates it so hot that it turns out like plasma. And let's be real, that sword looks fantastic, man, with the blue light and everything. It looks good. So then she beats both of them up, but then they call her an ogre. And she's just so mad, and she's like, why'd you call me a gorilla cyborg? Nobody said that about you. And it was just so good. I love the little comedic moments in all of that, man, and it was very nice. But then they get a call in the middle of all of that, and from that moment on, the whole aspect, well, no, I take that back. Before they get a call, the captain takes out Arthur and Shinra for ramen. And that whole ramen scene, tell me that it did not give you, no, that's not right. Tell me that scene, wait, hold on. Tell me that scene did not give you that whole Naruto-esque vibe with the ramen shop. It just felt so good to me. It felt like it's like they ripped straight out of a page of a Naruto episode or manga, and they just inputted it right there. And it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. And then I don't know if anybody else caught it, but did you guys see what popped up above their ramen bowls? Like, catch us next week. Just a little placement, just a little bit. But then after that, they were walking along the streets and everything, and then they get a call for Inferno. And dude, from that moment, from the ramen shop right there till they got a phone call for about an Inferno, changed the whole perspective of the show, man. It was all nice and hearty and comedic right there, and then all of a sudden it jumped and it became super serious, man. It was no longer anything funny because the scene that made it, well, before I talk about that, let's talk about the girl. Her mom had turned to an Inferno just maybe like a year prior or a couple years ago, and then her dad turned, and she's on the sidewalk crying, thinking it's going to happen to me. She's shaking and everything, but oh man, I skipped over the part where they were using weapons. I forgot all about it, but it comes into play right here. So after the captain gave Shinra a weapon, they were in, and he was talking about it, and he told Shinra and Arthur, don't show your weapons out in public. We don't show our weapons out in public because, man, dude, all of this whole little moment and scene right here was fantastic. He said, don't show your weapons out in public. And they didn't listen to him. When they got out to go fight the Inferno, they pulled their weapons out. And in that moment, man, he pulled them off to the side. I'm pointing like you guys can see. He pulled them off to the side and was like, what did I tell you about bringing your weapons out? Dude, that whole moment, like such seriousness and sternness on his face when he was talking to them about bringing the weapons out, they were so shocked, like, huh, what? Well, we're just saving the Infernos. No. We're killing them. They didn't say it in the anime or the episode, but he said, well, I'm assuming he either said, because they didn't show it what he said, but I'm assuming that it was like we're either killing them or we're murdering them, but we just call it like, you know, like the release and like setting them free and stuff. But that's not the case. We're actually killing people or murdering them, however he said it. And that was like, we didn't even have to hear him say it. Just the expression on his face sold how intense and how heavy that moment was. And then they both was like, man, that is true. That's, when you think about it, that's exactly what we're doing. And then we go inside the house. Before we go inside the house, somehow somebody in the shadows, which you guys seen with the black hat and the eye patch and the cigarette smoke and the little vial of maybe like ashes, I don't know. He is now. I wonder, are they turning people into Infernos, or is it already a thing and it just happens and like they're helping along in the process? I don't know. It's so confusing when you see scenes and moments like this with this guy off in the shadows lurking, and then certain things happen. So I really want to know who that guy is. But then we go inside the house and we see the dad just sitting at the table, and he's not burning or attacking anything. And I think that moment sold it so much more, with the girl sitting outside crying and feeling hurt that her dad had just been turned into an Inferno. He wasn't attacking. He was just sitting there waiting to be set free. Dude, that whole scene right there, and that whole scene that led up to it with the captain talking to Shinra and Arthur, dude, those two scenes was absolutely fantastic, man. But let's get to the moment that I want to talk about the most. And that is when Arthur asked the captain, could he save the Inferno? And the sister said the prayer, and Arthur took his sword and pressed it against the back of the chair. And then after they finished the prayer, you saw his plasma shoot through the back of the chair in the Inferno and just ended. Man, dude, that scene was beautiful, but it was heavy at the same time because they didn't go in there and just like all out attack or anything. The Inferno was waiting to be set free, and Arthur just gently set him free, man. It was so heavy, man. It was so heavy. I don't know. This episode was great, man. And at the end, it got real heavy, and then I don't know, man. But then that black stuff that the dude had off on the other side of the camera came into play in the building, and it didn't set anything on fire, but it collapsed. Like, it was many explosions, and it collapsed the whole roofing part of the house. And dude, the captain is beast. I knew he works out a lot, but like he tried to save that picture, and like half of like a beam and the other parts of the house fell on him, and he was just like, no, not today. And it was like he just shrugged it off like it was nothing. And that scene was great too. There was a lot of great scenes towards the ending with the second half of the episode. Fire Force is doing justice, man. Fire Force is doing its thing, man. And then we get to another scene that was absolutely fantastic, which is with Shinra and Arthur in bed. And Arthur was telling Shinra, don't worry about it, close your eyes and get some rest, because sometimes you can't see things unless you close your eyes. And that made me love their relationship, man. And they were going back and forth and just having a heartfelt moment. And there was a little comedic moments in there when Arthur kept shouting Night King, but that moment was absolutely glorious, man. I love this anime, man. The beginning half with the comedic part was it was good, and I enjoyed that too. But the emotional part that came in the second half of this episode was just fantastic, man. I don't know if anybody else talks about this in their review or reaction, but I had to talk about how heavy and emotional this second half was, man. But that's just my take on this episode, and I love this anime. I'm definitely going to keep watching it, man. This is your boy, The Incredible. Don't forget to smash that like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime's greatness, and anime is like, look at my hair. I didn't even know this the whole time. All right, peace out, man.